Hi guys, good evening. Hello YouTube. It's my funny way of saying like hello YouTube, like hello Clarice. Even though, the legendary character Dr. Hannibal Lecter will never ever appear on this show. That's too bad. I guess it's due to some legal copyright reasons or something. Anyway, welcome to my spoiler-filled series premiere review of the brand new crime thriller show that just dropped a few minutes ago on CBS, Clarice. I am very much looking forward to it. I have been without my Mindhunter for quite some time, and unfortunately, I don't think we'll be getting it anytime soon. But in the meantime, we do have this show, which might be a good usage of that space that was once preserved in my heart for Mindhunter. I have always enjoyed the Silence of the Lambs movies, and I enjoyed the show Hannibal very much, so I'm probably going to like Clarice. And I liked what we saw in this series premiere. Now, before I begin, of course, spoilers for the ending of the Silence of the Lambs. I mean, it's a 30-year-old movie, but you never know. And of course, spoilers for this very first episode of Clarice. I'm going to be going into specifics, character stuff, all that jazz. So, you have been warned. That being said, let's jump right into it. I gotta say, I was a little surprised with the storyline of this episode about how they think they're looking for a serial killer when they've uncovered 3 dead women with stab and bite wounds. But Clarice immediately points out how it feels very controlled. Like this isn't some maniac or uncontrollable madman on the loose on some rampage. Like somebody set these bodies up to be discovered or to be found this way. But I was not expecting the storyline that they went with is that all of these women were whistleblowers regarding some drug trial or clinical trial or something like that for some drug or whatever. And they were all the targets of a contract killer who was hired by we don't know who or what yet. What in terms of like a company or whatever. We don't know who hired him, but he was a contract killer who made these deaths look like serial killer slangs, which wasn't the case at all. So it was an interesting storyline to start the show off with, but I do sincerely hope we see her investigate actual serial killers and other serial killer cases on this show eventually, but I suspect that this storyline they've introduced about them, uncovering it was a contract killer, not a serial killer, and these 3 women are dead because they were whistleblowers. This is probably going to be our driving force for the first season, or maybe this first batch of episodes. I don't know how it's going to play out. But it was just a bit surprising, but there is something that's a bit refreshing about in terms of a fresh angle storytelling wise. Like they didn't fall back on the new serial killer ploy or plot line. That was actually something quite different and unexpected. I like the fact that they have touched on that they are probably going to explore a lot more PTSD and flashbacks for both Clarice and Catherine Martin, because this episode or this show did a good job reminding us in this premiere episode that, just because things wrapped up all hunky-dory by the end of Silence of the Lambs, at least they did for Clarice, became an agent and was accommodated and congratulated by everyone. She has probably been living and struggling with severe horrible nightmares and just overall terrible PTSD for the past year, because it's about a year after the events of Silence of the Lambs. Same goes for Catherine Martin. I mean, even her own mother said she's become quite thin because Buffalo Bill used to go after big girls. So, and then the phone conversation between the two of them, that was pretty intense, and it was pretty sad, because it's like, Catherine kind of unloaded on Clarice, and I don't think it was necessarily justified and whatnot, but it made a lot of sense. And as strong and as resilient as Clarice is, it was nice to see her still be somewhat vulnerable to some things. But, she's one tough cookie. That's the thing that a lot of people like about her. Like, even at the final closing scene when Krendler tells her to give her the information to the press, she gives him the truth instead, and of course that probably pissed him off. I like the fact we've met the new team, a couple of guys who aren't so welcoming, a couple of guys who are. I love that Krendler's played by Walking Dead alumni Michael Kudlitz. Very cool to see him. I'm looking forward to him. And so far, the gal playing Clarice is doing a great job. I also love the fact that for a support network, not only did they bring back Ruth Martin, who's now Attorney General, played by another Walking Dead alumni, Jane Atkinson, but they brought back her good friend and old roommate from the original movie, Ardelia. And oh my God, I think the funniest part of this episode, because this is a pretty serious episode, but the funniest part had to be when she said, I'm adding them to the list, and the camera pans down to a journal that says, people I'm sending to hell. That was the best. I hope we see more of that journal throughout this first season. Overall, thoroughly enjoyable. I'm looking forward to see what happens next, and I will keep watching unless I lose interest. But in the meantime, I hope you guys join me for season 1 of Clarice now that the show is finally with us. What did you think of the premiere? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, may the force be with you.